Welcome to Invest Out West podcast. I'm Nat Micken.
And I'm Kahlia Micken. We are a husband and wife team who live and invest in Western Queensland.
Join us on our journey of creating passive income through mindset, business, crypto, and property investing. Welcome to Invest Out West episode number 27.
Today the quote we'd like to lead with is from Socrates, and it says, "Let him who would move the world first move himself."
Yeah, today's just going to be a fairly quick podcast, and we're just going to talk about shares that we own in a company called BWP. So BWP Trust, and BWP stands for Bunnings Warehouse Property Trust. Now, as the name suggests, it's Bunnings Warehouses is what this trust focuses their investments on, and BWP Management Limited, they run BWP Trust, and BWP Management is a wholly owned subsidiary of Wesfarmers. So it's sort of just like a fairly in-house sort of a thing with Wesfarmers, and Wesfarmers also owns 22% of BWP themselves. So we sort of first found out about this company. It was just in some real estate story about how that you could go and invest in Bunnings warehouse, like Bunnings warehouse buildings, just through the share market. So we sort of said that's probably a fairly good idea because, like most people, most of us shop at Bunnings at some stage, and it's sort of once you're in a Bunnings shop, it's sort of fairly easy to realise just the money that flows through those warehouses every day. So we just decided that it was just probably a good way of getting into warehouses and big commercial sorts of deals without actually owning anything. We just sort of just good exposure really, and we sort of think it's pretty good exposure to Bunnings and to Wesfarmers being in this company, this BWP company. So it's sort of the numbers change fairly rapidly. When I was doing research for this podcast, the numbers of what they own, because they're sort of continually buying all the time, but as we speak, they own about 82 properties, and 68 of those are Bunnings warehouses. So, they don't focus wholly on Bunnings warehouses. They have other other rentals in their portfolio that aren't just Bunnings. So that sort of, it's probably a pretty good idea. It sort of just spreads their risk a fair bit. But the portfolio is worth $3.5 billion, and they make about $200 million annually in rent. So as you can see, the numbers are fairly big, and I just sort of believe it's probably a pretty good idea to be in that sort of a thing with those sorts of those size figures getting thrown around. So, Kahlia, do you want to talk a bit about the dividend and the price?
Yeah, so the current price that we're sitting at talking of here today, so we are recording this on the 31st of October, and the current price for the BWP shares is sitting at $3.46. And there's a couple of places where you can look this up. So we often go direct to the ASX website itself. You can see all the prices on there. And the other place that, of course, I always go to is when we're buying shares is I have a South Wealth account, and look there as well. It's got all the updated prices on there. Now, BWP is a dividend yielding company, and currently their dividend rate per share is sitting at 9.3 cents per share, which brings back a yield about 5.26%. So that's just a few rough figures on what the share price itself is doing. And of course, what we've done is we invested into this company quite a while ago, and we've just been letting it sit. And of course, the dividends are slowly starting to build up now. And of course, you can do the sums yourself. But when you've only got like a 5% yield, we're not making millions, but we're just making the money that we've invested into BWP, like work as it can, and then we can pull them profits off and put into different sectors then, yeah.
Yeah, no, look, we don't sort of have anything more to say. Like I said, it's just a fairly quick episode. I just wanted to sort of, just let anybody know that doesn't know about these types of companies that you can invest in to get exposure. Like I said, to big warehouses, big commercial, big money sort of stuff, and it's just sort of a good, safe sort of way to do it without actually having to do the hard yards yourself. So, yeah, that's about all we've got on this one, and keep living the dream.